Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're in the Formula Ford, this time at Summit Point for another track guide. I did this lap for the fixed Formula Ford series, so it uses the fixed setup and has a track temp of 35 degrees Celsius. This track has a very difficult final sector, but it's very fun to drive in this car. Before we get into the guide, I'd like to ask you all to subscribe to my channel. First I'll do a fast lap and then I'll do a guided lap. Let's get into it. So you may notice that coming onto this lap my delta goes red straight away. This is because I ran wide out of the final corner, and due to iRacing's new physics with the gravel, it slows you down loads. So when you're going onto a qualifying lap, make sure you don't touch the gravel on the exit of the final turn. For turn 1 I brake very hard in a straight line, just after the 3 cones, and I use first gear. The trick in this car for slowing down is using the engine braking lots. You may notice here that I downshift very quickly. It can give a lot of rotation, so be careful doing it into corners, but when you're braking a straight line it's absolutely fine to use. I start turning in where the dirt ends on the left and I go for a late apex. I don't touch the curb and I get back on throttle just after it. On the exit there are 2 lines you can take. You can either go slightly wider, which carries more speed onto the straight, or you can hold a tight line. They both have similar deltas, so it's just about what you prefer doing. For this left-hander I brake where the service road on the right ends here. I shift down to 3rd gear and troll brake all the way to the apex. I get back on throttle just before my apex and use all of the curb on the inside. On the outside you don't want to touch any of the gravel, as due to the new physics again it will slow you down loads. For this fast right I lift in 4th gear slightly as I turn in, just to make sure the car doesn't understeer wide. On the exit you want to be as far right as possible without sacrificing this right handle. Here I brake just before I go past the tree, and again I use the same downshifting technique as turn 1. I use first gear for this corner and again take a late apex. I gradually get back on throttle just after the apex to make sure I don't understeer into the grass on the right. You can take 2 lines on the exit here again. You can either go wider like I do, or you can keep it tight. They both have similar deltas, so it doesn't really matter. Between these 2 corners I don't shift to 2nd gear, I hold it in first. I brake at the gap in the tyre barrier on the left here, and then turn in quite early as the exit is very wide. I troll brake to the apex and get back on throttle quite early. I don't go to full throttle straight away, as I want to make sure that I don't understeer through these next few corners. If you keep over to the left here it should be flat through here, and you can run all the way out to this curb. For the final corner I brake at the start of the dirt patch on the left and downshift to 3rd gear. You want to touch the inside curb on the entry, and on the exit you can use all of the space, but make sure you don't go onto the gravel. I get back on throttle as I hit the curb at the inside. So that was a lap of Summit Point. If you did find this guide helpful, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And if there's anything that I could do better to make these guides more informative, please leave it in the comments. I'll now leave you with the 3rd person lap to the end of the video.